Great, so we'll start seated, or you can start laying down. You can decide if you want to start sitting or laying down today. So just get comfortable. If you want to sit against the wall or on a chair or on your mat, if you have space to put your mat. I'll give you guys a second to get comfortable. Hopefully you don't have animals that are, maybe you have a cat, who knows? Whenever I do yoga at home, that's when all the animals decide. They're like, what are you doing? You're so cute. All right. Awesome. So once you're comfortable, we'll close the eyes. Just adjusting, you might adjust your seat so that the sits bones are grounded onto whatever surface you're sitting on. You might take the opportunity to take some movements here on your own, maybe some neck rolls or some shoulder rolls or rolling out any other joints. You're just setting yourself up to relax. You can bring your hands into any position. You can be facing down or up to the sky. Just simply breathing, noticing your breath, observing everything that is going on with the breath, or sensations in the body, or thoughts in the mind. Just observing, just like as if you're sitting at a desk taking notes about everything that's going on in your body. Also known as just tuning in. So we'll tune in. Breathing in and out through the nose. Take another round of your breath, inhaling in through the nose, and then exhaling all the air from the lungs. And after you take that exhale, start to count your breath. So as we inhale, we'll count to the number 5. And then as we exhale, we'll exhale to the number 6. So I'll join you with that for the first couple rounds, and then you can continue on your own. So take a full breath in, then full breath out. And we'll inhale together on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And continue here on your own. You can keep the counting silently in your mind, or if that's a little distracting, you can just breathe by feel, just making the exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. As you breathe, notice where the breath as you inhale gets sent to first. Notice if the breath first travels to the chest, your rib cage, and then eventually filling the low belly. And then as you exhale, noticing the opposite, as you first exhale through the low belly, hollowing out your belly button to your spine, and then exhaling the rest of the air from the lungs, from the rib cage. We'll take a few more rounds like this, just a couple more. If you're still continuing to count, take one more round and then release the counting and return back to your natural breath. Next breath, bring your hands together in prayer position in front of your heart. And bow the head forward, chin to chest. And I invite you here to create a nice positive intention or affirmation for today. Your own personal little moment here to dedicate your practice to whatever's on your mind, whatever you'd like to dedicate your day to today. When you're ready, start to blink your eyes open and gazing down at the tips of your fingers. We'll bring our head to neutral, hands to either side. Oh, we're still working, that's good, it's a good thing. All right, so let's take a twist here. So if you're sitting on a chair, that works too, or you can sit on your mat, whatever you have going on today. So we'll inhale, sit up tall, and then exhale, we'll twist to any direction. I'm gonna twist to my left first. Opposite hand to me, other hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen, to sit tall, then exhale to twist any amount. Keep your core active, so low belly scoops in towards your spine. Just allow your head to just turn at a natural state without cranking the neck, of course. A nice big breath. Let's take 2 or 3 more. And 1 more breath in. Then breath out, unwind your twist. Then inhale, prepare. Then exhale, twist to your opposite side. Nice and tall, scooping in that low belly so that we can keep that pressure of that twist, so we can increase that blood flow into the lower belly. Nice big breaths. Find a spot for your eyes to gaze at. One more breath in. And then breath out, we'll unwind. We'll reach both hands forward. And then we'll cross, I don't know if I'm mirrored to you guys or not, but we'll cross your right arm over your left. We'll bend the elbows. You can stay here. You can wrap your hands back if you're feeling really tight in the shoulders. Otherwise, wrap once or twice and find that eagle arm variation. Imagine wearing a heavy backpack on your shoulders so that the shoulders come down, and any amount, lift your elbows so that the elbows could be a little bit more level with the shoulders. Just any amount there that feels good. And take a breath or two and just kind of assess the situation. If you would like a little bit more of a stretch here, you have the option, you can let the head fall towards your chest. And if you want a little bit more, you might even decide to fold forward any amount as well. So you can play with any of those options. Let's take a couple breaths here. Rest whenever you need to. Opening up the shoulders and the upper back. One more round of breath. And if you decided to bow forward, slowly make your way up. Unwrap the arms. We'll roll the shoulders. We're doing shoulders and upper back today, in case you didn't notice here. Cool, and then we'll take the other side. We'll reach the arms forward when you're ready. And we'll take the opposite as last time, so we'll cross the left arm over the right elbow. Bend the elbows. You can wrap or you can twist here once or twice, same as before. One side might be different, that's fine. Find your posture here, sitting tall, letting the core still support your low back here. Shoulders come downward, elbows rise just a little bit so it's somewhat level with the shoulders. You can stay right here, you can let the head bow forward, or you could also bow forward as well if you'd like to. If your legs are crisscross applesauce, I'll invite you here to switch the crossing of your legs as last time if you're bowing forward. Good, nice big breaths. Start to relax your way into this stretch, releasing some tension there from the rhomboid muscles in your upper back and shoulders, as well as the tops of the shoulders and neck. Take one or two more rounds of your breath, depending on the pace of your breath today. And if you decided to bow forward, slowly make your way up. And then we'll unwind the arms, and we'll roll the shoulders again. And we're going to take one more shoulder stretch before we move on to some more things here. So I'll invite you, you can stay seated crisscross if that's feeling comfortable, or if you're in a chair. Otherwise, if you'd like to change positions to how you're sitting, you can come to sit on your knees. I'll give you the option. You can curl the toes under to add a little bit of a stretch there for the middle of the foot. This one is a little intense, so if you do curl the toes under here, you might find the intensity grows very quickly and you might need to come out, and that's normal. That's how I feel usually. So if you do, feel free to kick it out or shake it out. Any sitting position here is fine. So we'll take your right arm, or it doesn't matter which side you start with. We'll take your right arm, reach back and behind. Left arm bends the elbow and reach back and behind. We're going to reach for the hands behind you. You can use your clothing here as a prop, or if you happen to have a towel or a strap, you can feel free to use that here. Otherwise, you can just use clothing, or you might even be able to touch and bind here. Whatever happens, and just find so that you can get a good stretch both on the top of that left shoulder and your tricep here and trap muscle on the other side. And breathe. We'll sit tall. And try to relax your face. Just 3 or 4 more breaths here if you can stay with us. Rest when you need to. One more breath. And slowly release that one. Take any movements if you want to circle the arms or roll the shoulders, or little neck rolls. Awesome. And we'll take the other side when you're ready. I started with my right on top. So if you started that way too, you bring your left arm back and around. Same as last time, you guys have done this stretch before. And you might notice, especially with me, for example, one side is dramatically different than the other side. And that's fine. Just adjust to where you can feel the sensation on both sides there. Take any sitting variation, if you want to curl the toes under this time or not. And breathe. In and out. Almost done on this side. And one or two more rounds of breath. And slowly release this side. Take any movements. Whew. Awesome. Then let's come to all fours. We'll come to tabletop position. Adjust this a little bit. There we go. And we'll find your tabletop position and take some movements. If you want to just sway the hips side to side, you can make some circles in both directions with the hips. And eventually we'll start doing some cat-cows, so you can start doing that now, or you can take some circles first to get there, or any other little stretches, maybe looking side to side over the shoulder. And eventually take some cat-cows. Take about 3 more cat-cows. The next breath, we'll come back to neutral. So in your tabletop, ground your left hand, practicing that Hasta Bandha. So as you place that left hand onto your mat or floor, press through all 5 fingers, the pads and the tips of your fingers. And then we're gonna lift your right arm out to the side like an airplane. Good, and once you come here, we're gonna take little pulses, like you have a wing and you're just making little fluttering with the wing. And we'll do about 15 to 20 of these. And breathe as you go here. Notice if you hold the breath, so continue to breathe. And we're just gonna do a couple of these little pulses At first, it's gonna feel like nothing, and then after a couple of these, you'll start to feel that warmth start to build in that upper back or right rhomboid muscle. We're just strengthening the upper back here. Especially if we're stressed or just in general, when we do things, we're rounding the shoulders, so we're getting really tight pectoral muscles, and we're weakening our upper back. So this will help with the posture. Just like 3 or 4 more. Woo. Good. All right, and then we'll switch sides. We'll bring the right hand down. Don't worry, we're going to stretch it out soon. Good. And then we'll take the other side. Left arm reaches out like an airplane, and then little pulses. Breathe as you go. Just strengthening the upper back, keeping our posture nice and strong. Nice tall posture. Ooh, yeah, for me that intensity builds really quickly. So if you're feeling the burn, good, that's a good thing. Good, a couple more. Making it even on both sides. Keep that right hand grounded nice and even through all 5 fingers. Good, nice. Then we'll bring both hands forward. We'll sink back into child's pose, and I'll invite you here to bring the hands into prayer position. We'll bend the elbows and bring the hands behind the head. We'll stretch the trap muscles here in the shoulders. If you need a little bit more in that stretch, feel free to just walk your elbows forward a couple of inches, and that sometimes can help add to the intensity. And just rest your head onto maybe the arms or possibly the floor, or if you've prepared with like a little towel or pillow to put your head on. A nice big breaths in and out. Awesome. One more breath in your child's pose. And we'll straighten the arms, reach forward, and we'll come all the way back up to all fours. And then we're going to come to lay onto our stomachs. I think I'll do it this way. And if you want, you can take a chaturanga to come down there to get there. And we'll plant the hands, point the elbows up to the ceiling. Press through the tops of the feet. And when you're ready, we'll just peel forward just a little bit, peeling the heart away from the floor, squeezing the elbows back and pointing them up towards the sky or towards the back wall. And take 3 breaths here. Feel your stomach as you breathe, press into the mat, almost like a motion of a boat floating on water. And we'll come down to rest. Rest either side of the face to the mat. And then we'll reach your hands. We'll interlace the fingers and reach the hands behind your low back. The best you can, try to point your elbows as much as you can towards the ceiling. And we'll just press your knuckles where you interlaced your fingers into your low back, just at the base of your spine. We'll prepare here. Inhale and exhale to prepare. And then inhale any amount, peel the heart forward. You can either, option A, press the feet into the mat, or option B, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, lift the feet. Good. 3 breaths here. If you're feeling open in the shoulders, you might play with straightening the elbows here. just an option. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And come down to rest. We'll take one more variation of locust pose. So we'll bring the arms out into the shape of a cactus, just along your sides. Take a breath to prepare. And then we'll inhale, peel the heart and the cactus arms away from the floor. Think of your goal as turning your palms and forearms towards the front of your mat and squeeze the shoulder blades, puffing up the chest. Again, option 1, feet can press into the floor, or option 2, you can play with lifting the legs here if you'd like to. And breathe. Take 3 breaths, or you can take up to 5 breaths here if you want to hold it a little longer. Feel that rocking motion of your breath as if you're a boat floating on the water. And then you can come down to rest now, or if you want to hold it for 2 more breaths, go ahead. Resting whenever you're completed. Then I'll invite you to bend your knees, and we'll sway the feet side to side. We're gonna pop up to tabletop, and we'll just sit back into child's pose. Take your time to get there. You might play with the different variation of child's pose. You might just reach the arms forward, or you might take the second variation and bring the hands along your sides. Whichever sounds good. And as you breathe in your child's pose here, come back to your positive intention or affirmation. Just remind yourself of what you're dedicating this to. Good. If your arms are along your sides, reach them forward. And we'll inhale, come all the way up to tabletop. And we're gonna lift your right arm up to the sky. We're gonna thread the needle next. So inhale, right arm reaches up. Oof. Wow, my shoulders are tight. Reach it up, take a breath or 2 here. Just find some length, some space in between the shoulder blades. The next breath, we'll thread the needle, we'll slide that right hand behind the left, and we'll slide all the way through until you can rest your head either onto the floor, or if you have a prop to bring your head up a little bit higher, you can use that here, like a pillow or anything you have around the house. And you can keep this front hand planted for support. You could play with reaching it up alongside the ear. Or you might even choose to wrap it behind the low back. You can decide. You can even try different things here as we hold this pose. You can always bring something soft under the knees too if the knees are bothering you in this position. Good. And breathe. Breathe into that right shoulder blade. Breathing in and out. Take 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. If it's not already, plant the left hand in front of you onto the floor. And then inhale, press the floor away, reach your right arm back up to the sky. And then I'll add something here. We'll step your right foot back and take a modified side plank. And then any amount, open up your heart to the sky. You can keep this arm straight up, or you might start to let it fall out to the side and open up that right pectoral muscle. Awesome. We'll bring both hands forward, both knees to the mat. We'll take the other side, right hand plants. Inhale, left arm stretches up to the ceiling. Take a breath or two to prepare and get some space between the shoulder blades if possible. And when you're ready, we'll slide it through, thread the needle, other side. You know what to do here. You can pick which variation you want with the hand. And breathe, give that left shoulder blade a chance to relax as you take those nice big breaths. Relieving any stress that you're holding in your shoulders. Take 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. Just about done on this side. And take your time, plant your right hands back in front of you if it's not already. Inhale, press the floor away, stretch it up to the sky. Woo, I'm feeling that one. And as you reach it up to the sky, we'll straighten the left leg back for a modified plank and open it up. Awesome. Both hands come forward, both knees come forward. Let's see. Cool, we still got time. We'll walk the hands forward a little bit, curl the toes under, downward facing dog, and walk it out. Maybe turn the head yes and no. Rest anytime that you need to. Now let's walk the hands back towards the feet. Bend your knees as you get there if you need to, or if you need to come up and refold into a forward fold, whatever you gotta do. We're eventually gonna find a forward fold here. So bend the knees a little bit, at least for this first couple of breaths if you need to. And let the head fall heavy wherever the hands are resting. If you have hands on props or possibly the floor, again, you can turn the head yes and no. You can grab elbows or whatever sounds good here. And just relieve some pressure from the spine and the neck. And we're going to slowly roll up. My torso and head's going to be cut off, but that's okay. You're still going to be able to hear me. From here, we'll slowly roll one vertebrae at a time all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. And roll the palms forward once you get to your standing Tadasana, and adjust the feet so that it feels nice and stable between both feet, all four corners of each foot. Palms again roll forward. And close the eyes and take 3 breaths here, engaging the core to stay nice and stable. Awesome. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so you can see part of me here. From here, from the back of your mat, we're going to step forward with your right leg. It doesn't matter which one you start with, but we'll step forward with the right leg, and we'll find warrior one. So this back heel will be down. You can check with the alignment of knee and toes here. And we'll reach the arms up to the sky. You can bend and straighten that knee a few times. Good. Then from here, we're going to cactus the arms again. So we'll bend the elbows 90 degrees, palms are facing forward. We'll goalpost or cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the heart. You can look straight ahead, or you might even look up a little bit here, but keeping the neck nice and healthy and long through both the front and the back. Awesome. We'll reach the arms back up to the sky. Then in front of you, we'll bring hands into prayer position in front of the heart. And then we'll take a big step back. Shake it out, roll it out. And then we'll take the other side. We'll step the left foot forward. You can add some side effects or sound effects. Sometimes that helps. Pivot the back heel down. Check in with that front foot. Warrior one. Arms reach up to the sky. Pivoting the hips forward as much as you can. And once you're adjusted here, bend the elbows. Palms face forward. Nice cactus arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together like you're trying to hold a pencil between the shoulder blades. Strengthening the upper back. Keeping the core strong. Nice big breaths. Next inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Bring hands into prayer position in front of the heart. Then take a big step back. Try not to fall like I almost did. And then we'll circle the arms out and up to the sky. And then exhale, lead with your heart. We'll swan dive forward, forward fold. Let the head fall heavy wherever you're folded. On your inhale, lift yourself about halfway. Try to create a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, we'll rise, sweep the arms out and up. Then exhale, hands to either side, Tadasana, mountain pose. We're gonna take warrior one again. We'll step the right foot forward. Nice big step and adjust as needed. Then we'll sweep the arms out and up to the sky. And then exhale, we'll reach the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, bend the elbows, and we'll place the knuckles into your low back here once again. Think about pointing your elbows as far back as you can. Take a breath here. And next big breath, breathe in through the heart. And then exhale, we'll fold to the inside of this front leg as much as you can. You don't have to go all the way down necessarily, unless you feel like it today. But find a good amount, and then once you find your max, let the head fall heavy. Arms can stay bent, or you might choose to straighten the elbows and let them fall to the floor, or towards the floor. Now 3 breaths here. Keep your left leg strong. So this left quadricep is just as strong as this front leg here. Good, 1 more breath. Good, inhale, we'll rise, release the hands, arms reach up for warrior one. And hands come to heart center, prayer position. And then take a big step back of the mat, and shake it out, roll it out. All right. We'll take the other side, left leg takes a big step forward. Adjust, get situated and supported nicely, nice and safely. Good, we'll sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, reach behind you. This time, interlace your fingers the opposite way as last time, so the way that feels awkward. Arms and hands come to your low spine, elbows point back. Check in with that front knee if you need to rebend it or whatever you have to do to align yourself there. Good, take a breath here. Good, take a breath in through the heart. And then exhale, we'll fold. Again, you can fold any amount, either on top or the inside of that front leg. Right leg is strong. Hands stay at the low back, or you might choose to let them fall towards the floor. Let the head fall heavy. We've already taken 1 breath, so 2 more. Good, last breath, we'll inhale, come up, release the hands, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands into prayer position. And inhale, we'll step back. Take a breath, shake it out, roll it out. Then inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. And we'll walk your hands forward and find downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. And pedal it out if you need to. Good. And we'll stay in down dog for a few breaths. If at any moment in time or a couple times during, feel free to come down into your child's pose of choice. Otherwise, we'll find our child's pose for maybe 3 to 5 breaths or more, depending on the pace of your breath today. You find stillness or movement here, you can customize as you need to. You can stay in your child's pose or in your downward dog as long as you like, and then when you're ready, find your child's pose. Just stay in your child's pose just for a couple breaths. I'm going to adjust you guys again here. There we go. Awesome. Find a nice child's pose. Adjust you guys here. There we go. Okay. From your child's pose, we're going to inhale, come up to all fours, and then we're going to lay forward again. And I'm going to lay this way this time. You take your chaturanga to get there. We're going to stretch the chest muscles, the pectoral muscles, and the shoulder. So we're going to reach the right arm out to the side. Elbow is straight. So yeah, I have my right arm extended. If the right arm is extended, we'll bend the left knee. Or opposite is whichever arm's extended. And then any amount, we're going to roll onto your right side so that we can open up that right shoulder. You might roll just enough to just stack the knees here. You might plant that left foot behind you onto the floor. Or you might keep both hips forward, depending on how that shoulder is doing or if you have any injury in that shoulder or anything like that. So just find a good amount of opening there and find an amount, and once you find it, rest your head, whether it comes to the floor or if you have a pillow or your hand you can rest it on, whatever works here, and breathe. Just letting gravity do the work here for you. And I forgot to mention, if you want to keep your left hand planted in front of you, that's fine, or you might choose to open it up, like airplane wings or bird wings, or you could even bend your left elbow and wrap your hand behind your low back, if you haven't already added that on your own, or if you want to. Take 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. And then slowly roll back forward if you're rolled to your side. We'll switch sides. We'll plant that right palm onto the floor. Left arm with a straight elbow reaches out to the side, palm faces down. Right knee will bend. And then as you're ready, we'll roll to the left side. Whatever you want to do with the front arm. And just remembering to rest your head so that the neck doesn't have to hold the head up here. And breathe. You guys should be able to see me okay. Just notice any differences on one side compared to the other, if there are any. And breathe into your heart, your chest, your sternum, your throat. One more breath. And then we'll start to roll back forward. We're gonna switch arms again once you roll back forward. So left hand will plant onto the floor. The right arm will reach back out to the side. And this time, instead of a straight elbow, we're just gonna bend the elbow or walk the hand forward a little bit so that the elbow is bent more of a nice obtuse wide angle. So not quite 90 degrees, but just finding somewhere in between here to bend your elbow. So just a little bend, walking the hand a little bit more towards that corner of your mat. Left knee will bend possibly, and then we'll roll any amount. This time you might not even be able to roll to one side, or you might be able to. Maybe just stacking the knees if possible, and just resting the head, and just rolling enough until you feel that stretch into that right pectoral muscle, or that right section of your chest. We won't hold this one super long. Let's take a couple breaths here. No need to push your way too far into this one. This one is usually intense for most people. So one more breath. And slowly come back towards center. We'll switch hands so that the left arm gets a chance. We'll bend the left elbow just a little bit, just a couple of degrees. Right knee might bend if you choose to roll over a little bit. And then we'll take this other side, rest the head, maybe stack the knees, maybe roll to one side, maybe not. Just until you feel the opening in the left side of your front chest or your pectoral muscle. Because today we did some strengthening for the upper back. And then we're opening up the chest, helping with our shoulders, upper back. You can stand up tall. Be nice and supported. Good. Breathe. Almost done on this side. Last breath. And then we'll roll back forward. You can rest here if this is a good resting spot for you. And if or when you're ready, we'll come to child's pose, or you can stay here. Take a couple more breaths to rest, whether you're on your stomach or in child's pose. And then next breath or 2 or 3, we'll come up through tabletop, and then we're gonna come to laying down on our backs. We're almost to Shavasana, we're getting there, almost time. And this time we'll have a longer Shavasana because I have my Zoom Pro account today, so everything's working, so that's a good thing. I'm glad that it's working. So we'll come to our backs. Ooh. And we'll bend the knees. We're gonna find bridge pose next here, so setting up for your bridge. If you have blocks, if you happen to have blocks, you can use them, or books or a pillow if you need a supported prop. Otherwise, we won't hold it for that long. So use whatever you need. And come to your back. We'll roll the shoulders back. I like to turn my palms down to the floor personally. We'll scoot the heels in nice and close. We'll keep your gaze straight up to the ceiling so the neck is neutral. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, lift the hips, possibly rolling the shoulders back more if possible. And breathe, releasing the glutes and using your adductor muscles here. So imagining squeezing a loaf of Wonder Bread between your knees so that you're holding on to the loaf of bread, but you're not crushing it. And breathe. Breathe into the throat, the chest, shoulders. Rest anytime. Maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. And inhale, lift the heels away from the floor, And we'll roll down one vertebrae at a time until your tailbone eventually comes down to the mat. We'll widen your feet, so we'll heel toe the feet to the edges of your mat. We'll let the knees fall together. And just gently press the low back into the mat. Find some stillness, let the spine neutralize. Then we'll windshield wipe the knees side to side. Just let them fall one side to the other and back and forth. You can do this a little bit more for a couple more rounds if you like. And then eventually we'll find our happy baby pose. We'll bend the knees and grab wherever you can reach, possibly inner or outsides of the feet, or backs of the knees or clothing. You can rock side to side or just be still. And we'll release the feet and just bring the knees together into your chest and keep on rocking if you already are rocking. If not, you can start rocking side to side. Having the knees in nice and close, give the back a nice little massage. Good, we'll reach the arms out to either side and let your knees fall to either side. I'm going to drop mine to the right first, but you can drop them to either side to start. And find your twist. Head is neutral, or you can look over to the opposite hand and breathe. You might even play with different leg variations if you have the space. You can rest the right hand maybe onto your knee for support. You can customize it however you want to take your twist here. And once you get comfortable, take some nice big breaths, possibly reminding yourself here of your positive intention or affirmation that you created. Take another breath in through the nose. And then out through the nose, we'll bring the knees and head back to center. Prepare. And then next breath, we'll twist to the other side. Adjust to how you like your twist on this side. And breathe. Getting the blood flow going through the low belly and the organs, the digestive organs. Breathing into your rib cage. Notice the temperature of your breath, if it's warm or cold. One more breath. And then we'll bring your head and knees back to center. And then from here, taking any last stretches or if there's any other poses you want to take. Then we'll set up for Shavasana. So I'll give you a second here to set up for your Shavasana. If you'd like to lay on your mat, if you're using your mat, or if you want to switch over to a couch or a bed, I'll give you a moment to do that. So get nice and comfortable. Maybe take a sip of water. You guys did so good today. I can't necessarily see you today, but I know that you're doing an awesome job. The hardest part was starting, but at least now you don't even have to leave your house, so makes it a little easier, I hope. All right, so we'll find, here we go. We're gonna get nice and comfortable for Shavasana. I'm gonna be sitting because I'm gonna guide you through it, but lay down somewhere comfortable. I'll be here to mind the time for Shavasana. Good. Now that you're comfortable, hopefully, we'll close the eyes. Start to relax all of your facial muscles. Starting with your forehead, your eyebrows, all the tiny muscles around your eyes and around your face. Relaxing your ears by unclenching your jaw, letting the tongue be heavy. Breathing into your throat, noticing that temperature of your breath. Relaxing your neck, your shoulders, both arms, hands and fingers. Feeling the rising and falling of your chest and rib cage as the lungs breathe naturally. Breathing as well into your solar plexus and your lower belly. Grounding both hip points onto whatever surface you're laying on. And relaxing both legs, feet, and toes. Just allowing yourself to be open in this moment. Being open to receive, being open to process whatever thoughts or distractions come up in your mind or around you. Just not without fighting any of these thoughts or distractions, just observing as if you're up in the clouds, just watching from above. Letting whatever surface beneath you support you as you melt onto wherever you're laying. With every breath inward that you take, imagining maybe your favorite color and filling your body with that color. Or it could be multiple colors, whatever your brain decides to create for you today. And as you exhale, creating space for the next breath, exhaling any of that negative energy or thoughts or feelings that might be stored in the body, especially since we just did our physical practice or asana. We were able to loosen all of those pent up feelings a little bit. So every exhale, imagining just emptying out the body of those feelings or tensions. And every inhale, refilling those spaces with your favorite color until eventually your whole body from head to toe is filled with that color. And I'll mind the time here. All you have to do is breathe. Shavasana. And the next inhale, take a big breath in through your nose, filling the lungs to full capacity. And then exhaling out through the mouth. Breathing naturally on your own as you start to reawaken your body, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe turning your head gently side to side, like you're saying no, or any other little movements or stretches. And keeping your eyes closed, eventually rolling onto one side, maybe your right or your left side. And once you make your way to lay onto your side, I invite you here to remind yourself of your gratitude just by thinking of one or a couple things that you're grateful for on this specific day or week. And once you found your gratitude, you'll slowly make your way to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes softened or closed, sitting maybe on the floor, or if you're on a bed or a couch, placing the feet onto the floor. And once you find your comfortable seat, we'll bring hands into prayer position in front of your heart. And we'll again bow the head forward. And as you breathe here, I ask you silently to yourself, how does it feel to be you and your body right now in this very moment? Thank you so much for being here today. It means a lot to me. Namaste.